Sup flappers, welcome to another video once again here at it on YouTube live Saturday evening. I have no life, but we're here with the beautiful chat and we're talking about MiHoYo and Genshin Impact currently in patch 2.2, right? I know people are talking about this as well, saying, why is everything time gated? Why do we have to play through the content one piece at a time? There's many reasons to this, right? I was just mentioning one of the major reasons, if not probably the biggest one, is that MiHoYo right now is likely monitoring how long people can play this game meaningfully, because currently there's no meaningful repeatable content. So of course, when they drop content packages like this in new patches with events, right, and with the story, new zones, of course they're going to want people to take it slowly. And also, one thing I feel like a lot of people are not talking about is that within China, you guys remember this, right? There is a restriction ban on how long underage players can even play the game. There's no point for MiHoYo to be leaving out a chunk of their player base by letting everybody else play through it, whereas all those people are also time gated anyways by the government. Going off that point, a lot of people are going to say this is just the mobile storage issue all over again. Why is the mass of the player being punished because a very small portion of the community? It's like, I'm just saying that is one of likely the many reasons why MiHoYo has decided to run this content release model. Unlike most games where huge patch drops, you know, like all the traditional games, when huge patch drops, you get everything in one go. You can play it all in one day. You can play it in multiple days. But most of those kind of games have repeatable content. If we're talking about RPGs, MMOs, right? There are mid to long-term goals we can work towards. Let's say in a certain RPG game, a new gear set can drop or a new zone is dropped. You can go explore it. There's very little restrictions. All the content's going to be there. But it's like a mid to long-term goal. The problem is, whenever MiHoYo drops any sort of content, except for major feature content like the teapot, right? The teapot is designed to be a mid to long-term goal for most players to work towards. And even then, I had people in my community where they maxed out their teapots pretty much the same patch it was out. MiHoYo currently is struggling to design long-lasting content. So in a way, yes, you could say MiHoYo is artificially keeping their player base at a steady number by forcing you to come back. I talked about this point, how MiHoYo likes to do this in another video, right? They like you to invest your time now and reap the rewards later. They do this because it's a psychological trick. They'll get you with the sunk cost fallacy, pretty much. Basically, you're like, well, I already did all this, so I should just finish it, right? It's just like if you are gambling. If you're gambling, you spend like $100. And you can't just walk away. Like, I already spent 100, right? I already spent 100. I might as well just get it. I just spend the rest, spend the extra 50, another 100, another 200. Might as well just get it. Right now, the currency is your time. MiHoYo is using the sunk cost fallacy, but for people who are like, oh, I don't spend money, you spend time, right? So they get you with that. And in turn, Genshin is able to sustain a very large population of players online on a monthly basis, because if you don't come online, first and foremost, you're not going to be able to get your primo gems. You're not going to be getting primo gems, you're not going to be able to summon for your waifus, right? So that's how they get you. When people say, well, why doesn't MiHoYo just let us play, you know, whenever we want? Why doesn't MiHoYo just let us go through the content however we want? It's, firstly, I think a lot of players just are incapable of doing that. Underage players in China certainly cannot. Most players have voiced their concern with this. Like, I don't have enough time during the day. I cannot play through that. I think Genshin is perfectly paced. And I think Genshin has always been a game that's been created and catered towards people with a busier life schedule. There's people right now in chat who has busy life schedules. They can't play the game every day. And even if they can play the game every day, all the times they can't play play it for an extended amount, like maybe 30 minutes, an hour is a plenty amount of time to be devoting to Genshin Impact. And I think MiHoYo is really trying to cater to that market. Why?
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
No! No! Oh, hello there! One moment. One moment. One moment. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Okay, so why exactly... Why is MiHoYo targeting this specific demographic of players, right? And I'm gonna tell you guys why. The main reason is because of buying power. You guys know what buying power is? It's basically like how much power do they have to spend money on something. That's what buying power is, right? Currently, I would say the vast majority of the whales or even the leviathans are maybe in their late 20s, early 30s, maybe some even in their 40s. No judgment, but these people have relatively high buying power.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Where the f are your
sound effects?
Nice shot. Nice shot.
Comparatively to the rest of the player base. The vast majority of the free-to-play player base are not going to be able to drop top dollars, right? So MiHoYo understands the busy lifestyle of the high-tier spenders. So they cater the content. They cater the pacing of the content to be for those type of players. And I think that makes a lot of sense. I have yet to see, unless you're a content creator. Content creators, of course, feel that frustration was like, why can't I play through this? Because it's their jobs, right? To play through the game. They just want to experience it. But for the vast majority of whales and leviathans, if you are spending tens of thousands, 20s of thousands of dollars, chances are you have like a well-paying job. If not, you're doing day trading or something like that, right? Your life is not all about video games. And for the people whose life can be all about video games, a lot of times they're younger people who are still in school, right? There are strict restrictions put onto gaming companies. It's gotten worse and worse over the years, especially for companies, for games that have addictive natures within them. The government is very strict on how content is being released. And I'm starting to understand it more and more why Genshin can't just be like a grind your life away type of deal. It's a big problem if that were the case. People don't have that level of self-control. Do you know in China right now, the government is stepping in place of parents to place restrictions on how kids are able to interact with society, with with different sort of content, online and offline, right? The government... Have you ever heard of a place where governments have to intervene when it comes to raising children? It's pretty absurd. And it just shows this is MiHoYo, being a company based in China, is just going to have this kind of limitation. The content is going to be having to be segmented by pieces. We're going to have to consume it like how MiHoYo wants us to consume it. And I think a lot of people are okay with that. Am I a little frustrated? Of course, I'm a little frustrated, but I understand I don't mean the community, right? So at the end of the day, I think we can all go on to enjoy Genshin Impact. And again, people, don't burn through the content. Don't keep making the same mistake. Take your time, enjoy it. I think there's a lot to be discovered in Genshin Impact in the years to come. Dendro, Sumeru, Fontaine, right? Trust me, people, it's a slow grind with this game, all right? It's a marathon. It's a marathon. It's not a race. And I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you guys for sitting with me through this. Chat, It was kecking a little bit. I don't know what happened. I don't know what why I ended up at the bottom of this cliff over here. Something must have happened. So yeah, with that said, stay safe. Peace. See you guys next time. Bye. Say bye. Say bye.